When we are young, adulthood looks like ultimate freedom. You imagine making your own money, having your own place, and setting your own rules. But no one tells you about the alarm clocks, the traffic, and the reality of repeating the exact same endless routines day after day. Take a recent story from a 24-year-old. His alarm rings at 6:30 every morning. He commutes, works an 8-hour shift at a call center, drives straight to the gym, and battles traffic again to finally walk through his front door at 8 p.m. From there, he still has to cook, shower, and prep for tomorrow. One evening, a bad traffic jam pushed his arrival home closer to 9 p.m. He hit a wall, sat down, and cried. But as he explained online, the hardest part was that he actually tried to cry faster, simply so he would have enough time to eat something before he was forced to go to sleep. Squeezing your emotions between dinner and tomorrow's alarm is the predictable outcome of an overcrowded daily architecture that pushes millions into permanent exhaustion. Look at this default blueprint of modern adulthood. It operates as a closed-loop system designed with zero empty space. You wake up, commute, work your shift, commute back, do your chores, and sleep. The cycle is continuous. The math here is unforgiving. Once you factor in that loop and try to add basic human maintenance, like cooking a healthy dinner, exercising for an hour, and getting a full night's rest, the required hours physically exceed the 24 hours available in a day. This structural deficit creates a condition known as time poverty. It happens when the inputs required to maintain a standard life continually outpace your available waking hours, leaving you constantly running behind. The 24-year-old looked at this deficit and asked the question that haunts almost everyone. Is this exact loop what I am supposed to do for the next 35 years? The honest answer is yes, unless you actively intervene. Surviving adulthood without burning out requires deliberately choosing one of 3 structural interventions to break this loop. If you leave time poverty unchecked, you lose the ability to actually live. Your existence shrinks down to an exhausting daily game of mere survival. This matrix breaks down your 3 options. The first structural intervention is micro-optimization, or the routine edit. This approach targets the edges of your day. The required inputs mean scaling back. You cut your gym visits down to 3 days a week, rigidly prep all your meals on Sunday, and set strict boundaries around your sleep schedule. The expected outcome of making these precise cuts is that you reclaim 1 to 2 hours of pure, unstructured free time every single day. That reclaimed time is called margin. It is deliberate, non-productive, empty space built into your schedule where absolutely nothing is required of you. But the hidden trade-off is real. To buy back this mental margin, you have to actively sacrifice peak performance goals. You cannot optimize for maximum fitness, elaborate daily meals, and mental rest all at the same time. Micro-optimization is highly effective if you are dealing with standard schedule exhaustion. However, if the friction in your life comes from a toxic environment, rearranging your evening routine is just a useless band-aid. That brings us to the second strategy on the matrix, the environment pivot, or the job swap. In the case of the 24-year-old, his 8 hours were spent in a call center. Positions like that create a disproportionate, unique drain on your energy compared to a standard desk job. The heavy lifting in these roles comes from emotional labor. You are expending unseen, exhausting effort to absorb hostility from angry customers while being strictly forced to maintain a cheerful disposition. To execute this pivot, the required input is treating your current role as strictly temporary. You take whatever slivers of free time you have left and redirect them entirely into active job hunting. The hidden trade-off here is acute, short-term friction. This path demands a severe increase in your workload and stress levels during the transition phase as you balance a full-time job with the demands of securing a new one. When the job itself is the disease, no amount of sleep hygiene or meal prep will cure your exhaustion. The only effective response is to completely excise the hostile environment. The final, most extreme option on the board is the radical restructure, or opting out of the system entirely. The required input here is resigning from the standard corporate ladder. It means pursuing piece-rate freelance work, traveling, or taking random low-stress jobs just to cover your basics. You are optimizing for time wealth. This means prioritizing the accumulation of unstructured hours and daily experiences over the accumulation of financial capital. The expected outcome is total structural freedom. By stepping off the traditional path, you permanently shift from surviving a rigid routine to actually experiencing life on your own terms. The critical trade-off is severe financial friction. This path requires actively abandoning traditional milestones, like homeownership or early retirement, in exchange for daily freedom. While a radical restructure offers the ultimate escape from the daily grind, it requires you to accept a lifelong baseline of financial unpredictability. We can map these options to your specific situation using this decision tree, starting with one defining question: what is your primary friction point? If you follow the time-starved branch, you match with strategy 1. This is for ambitious, overwhelmed people who like their overall trajectory but need permission to scale back their daily expectations. The emotionally drained branch targets those trapped in hostile jobs, like a call center, where an exit plan is the only path forward. The misaligned branch is for system skeptics who find themselves incompatible with the 40-hour corporate loop. Applying the wrong solution to your specific problem will only accelerate your burnout. You cannot fix the exhaustion of a hostile workplace by forcing yourself to meal prep on Sundays. There is no universal right way to be an adult. There is only the specific strategy that aligns with your individual risk tolerance and your financial reality. Eventually, the 24-year-old posted an update. He hadn't quit his job or solved his schedule, but he decided to try finishing his chores a little earlier, just so he could lie in bed, stare at the ceiling, and listen to music before sleep. Carving out that 10 minutes of silence seems small, but it was a crucial first step. It was an act of reclaiming his agency from a schedule that had taken it all. Finding a better way to live requires objectively analyzing your trade-offs, rather than just gritting your teeth and forcing yourself to endure the pain. Admitting you are exhausted is the bravest act of adulthood. That honesty is the catalyst required to redesign a life you can actually sustain.